Autopsy of a Giant, The Psychological Death of Blockbuster. An $8.4 billion empire, reduced to a single museum. Then, in the early 2000s, Blockbuster was a cultural and financial titan. The image on the left shows a bustling store, packed with customers browsing and checking out movies, reflecting its widespread popularity. At its peak, Blockbuster boasted over 9,000 stores worldwide, was a brand synonymous with home entertainment, and reached a valuation of $8.4 billion. Now, by 2010, the company filed for bankruptcy. The image on the right depicts a lone Blockbuster store at dusk, its sign glowing in an empty parking lot, symbolizing its decline. Today, a single store remains in Bend, Oregon, a relic of a bygone era. This data is from Forensic Business Analysis 2023. Exhibit A, the victim at peak health. This entity boasted an impressive footprint of over 9,000 stores, commanded a near-total monopoly in market share, and served millions of loyal customers, leaving a significant cultural impact. At its peak, around 2004, this company was valued at an astounding $8.4 billion. This is case BB_collapse, item 001, representing its peak valuation. The dismissed warning. In 2000, a small startup named Netflix offered to sell itself to Blockbuster for $50 million. Blockbuster's response? They laughed them out of the room. Finding 1. The wounds were self-inflicted. The investigation now turns inward. Blockbuster's collapse wasn't caused by a single external event, but by a series of deep-seated psychological failures within its leadership and culture. Pathologies to be examined. Profit blindness. Status quo bias and sunk cost fallacy. Ego and groupthink. Pathology blindness. An unhealthy fixation on a toxic revenue stream, leading to fatal strategic paralysis. Blockbuster laid $800 million per year on late fees alone. This was pure profit. Leadership became psychologically anchored to this cash cow, making them fear any new model, like subscriptions, that would cannibalize it. We see here a brain, representing the decision-making center, bound by chains to a tag that reads $800 million per year in late fees. The decision-making center's crucial energy was distorted and strained by the fatal cash cow. Their internal monologue became, "We can't kill the cash cow." The diagnosis: profitable models can create psychological traps that distort decision-making and cause leaders to delay necessary pivots. A psychological allergy to the future. This describes overvaluing past success and existing investments while actively resisting necessary change. Let's look at the status quo bias. Leadership held deeply ingrained beliefs such as, people love going to the store, and streaming is too small to matter. Their brains overweighted familiarity. Next, we have the sunk cost fallacy. With thousands of employees, long-term leases, and a huge real estate footprint, it became psychologically impossible to abandon the retail model. The diagnosis is that humans are wired to protect what they've already invested in, even when it's failing. Blockbuster was psychologically married to its past, much like the heavy anchor of retail, infrastructure, and past success seen here, holding back the boat of future progress. A fortress of arrogance. Symptom: a dangerous combination of executive ego and organizational silence that blinds a company to existential threats. Ego and dominance. Blockbuster saw itself as the giant, the unbeatable category owner. They interpreted the fledgling Netflix as a pest, not a predator. Groupthink. Inside Blockbuster, many employees and managers saw the threat threatedly, but when leadership signals a clear direction, dissent is silenced. The diagnosis. The organization drifted toward disaster with no internal alarms ringing, crippled by a culture that rewarded conformity over clarity. The motive from pain. Blockbuster fundamentally misread its customers. They believed people loved the experience of browsing shelves. However, what was actually happening in their customers' minds was a tangle of late fees, stress, and deadlines. The reality, customers were driven by a powerful psychological force, pain avoidance. Late fees felt unfair and predatory. They triggered loss aversion, the psychological principle that losses hurt more than gains feel good. Netflix didn't just offer a better product, it offered an escape from a frustrating experience. Ultimately, removing pain is a stronger motivator than offering pleasure. A fundamental misdiagnosis of the customer. Blockbuster's internal monologue. Our brand is our fortress. Customers enjoy the store browsing experience. Our physical presence is an unbeatable asset. The customer's psychological reality. Convenience beats brand loyalty every time. I hate the stress of late fees and return deadlines. Humans choose the path of least resistance. Just give me the movie. How Netflix engineered loyalty. Netflix didn't win by accident. They won by understanding human behavior better than the incumbent. First, let's look at subscription psychology. The set-it-and-forget-it model reduced decision fatigue and created long-term loyalty through commitment bias. Next, empowerment and control. Their message was, no more late fees, you're in control. This activated feelings of autonomy and relief. Moving to the bottom left, identity psychology. Netflix became the future brand, aligned with innovation and convenience. Customers bond with brands that make them feel smart and modern. Finally, psychological safety. By eliminating all punitive measures, like late fees and embarrassment at the counter, Netflix created a pure, frictionless experience. The coroner's report. Official cause of death. After a thorough examination of the internal and external factors, the cause of death has been determined. The demise was not primarily technological or market-driven, but psychological. Primary cause: a chronic failure to emotionally accept the future. Contributing factors: terminal status quo bias, acute ego-driven underestimation, chronic profit blindness. Blockbuster examined financial spreadsheets. Netflix examined customer psychology. Only one survived. Lessons for the living. How to avoid a similar fate. The pathologies that killed Blockbuster are not extinct. They exist in companies today. Here is how to screen for them. First, scan for profit blindness. Is your most profitable product creating a psychological trap that prevents you from innovating? Second, inoculate against ego. Don't underestimate small competitors. Convenience beats brand loyalty every time. Third, challenge the status quo. Technology doesn't wait for your comfort zone. The speed of your pivot matters more than the size of your company. And finally, the ultimate vaccine. Obsess over removing customer pain points. That is where disruption begins. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more business stories.